Homeopathy needs a modern software for the new generation, also for the old one, but I guess in particular for the new generation of homeopaths. The concept is that you can activate your microphone during a consultation with a patient, either in person or online. And what the software will do is that it will start doing a repertorization in real time. So based on what it picks up from the consultation, the conversation between the homeopath and the patient, it will select rubrics. And,
I mean, that's nuts. So it's like transcribing it, right? And then repertorizing it real time?
Yes,
Wow.
So when you stop the recording, it will also save the full transcript of the whole conversation, differentiated by speaker. So the homeopath and the patient. Actually, the most interesting way of using the timeline feature is the
artificial intelligence, AI. Love it or hate it, it's here to stay. And regardless of your opinions about AI, there is no denying that it has the potential to be a great ally in our homeopathic practice if used correctly. Imagine deeply listening to your patient while AI software transcribes your consultation and does a real-time repertorization for you during the consultation. So at the end, you simply have to look over the rubrics, make sure you're happy with it all, have a look over the top remedies, and then decide which remedy fits your patient in front of you the best. This means you can focus all of your attention 100% on your patient in front of you and truly hold space for them instead of spending your time taking notes. Even better, imagine that transcription then being used to automatically generate a timeline for you of your patient's complaints. Imagine your patient sending you a photo of their rash, and all you have to do is upload the photo into your Repertorization software, and the AI will analyze the photo and suggest rubrics you may wish to use based on that photo. Well, you don't have to imagine any of that anymore. Similia Homeopathic Software already provides all of this and more. So today we hang out with Marco Ruggeri, creator of Similia Homeopathic Software. And when I say this software will blow your mind, that is no exaggeration. And even better, the software is constantly getting updated and improved, so it's only getting better and better and better with time. Now, this episode does make use of visuals, as Marco will be walking us through the Similia software. So this is one of those episodes that you'll get the most out of by watching the interview on rumble.com or YouTube on the Homeopathy Hangout podcast account. However, Marco and myself do talk you through the visuals, so this should still make for a good audio experience as well. So you should still be able to listen while you're walking or driving or going about your day. I also have really exciting news. Marco was kind enough to give our listeners a 10% discount for the Similia software with the code HOMIES. So that's HOMIES. So if you do sign up, please use this code. We will also receive an affiliate commission, which will help me to pay for the costs of running the podcast. So if you're interested in this incredible software, check out similia.io. That's SIMILIA.io. And remember to use the code HOMIES at checkout to get a 10% discount. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Homeopathy Hangout podcast, where we discuss all things homeopathy from around the world. And now our mum and your host, Eugenie Kruger.
Hello, homies, and welcome back to Homeopathy Hangout, where today I get to chat with the lovely Marco Ruggeri. Welcome to the show. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, it's a pleasure to be here.
Lovely to have you here. Marco, you have overnight caused a bit of a stir in the online homeopathic repertorization community because you have just out of nowhere come up with this mind-blowing repertorization software. Now, anyone knows that I have used Radar Opus since 2011 and I've always loved it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to change ever. And then my friend Elaine, who runs CHE Australia with me, was like, no, just come have a look. And then you came and showed our students yesterday how it works. And when I say my mind is blown, I mean, that is such an understatement. I just firstly want to say I applaud your work. You've clearly worked your butt off. This is going to be revolutionary for homeopaths worldwide. Our students were, after you left the Zoom call yesterday, just like, this is amazing. And they're so excited. Anyway, I'm a little bit excited. So before we get started, you know the drill. Tell us how you were first introduced to homeopathy.
Sure, yeah, and thanks a lot for the kind words. So, yeah, I started in homeopathy as a patient about 10 years ago. I was having hay fever for various years, and I was using conventional medicine, yeah, steroids, antihistamines, and they were suppressing it a bit, the symptoms, but yeah, of course, it was not going nowhere. It was not healing. And so my brother, which he knew homeopathy back then, he suggested to go and see a homeopath. And I was a bit skeptic, to be honest, initially. And it was just like, I had a bit of knowledge from the mainstream knowledge and brainwashing. But yeah, I decided anyway to go and try it. And actually, my first remedy that I took, it was like not a great result, but like I didn't have any improvement, but had a really big aggravation, which was a way to confirm like, okay, there is something in there. So I was not much of a skeptic anymore. So yeah, I decided to keep going. And actually, I had some really good results, like with tonsillitis, which I used to have a lot as a kid, lots of antibiotics. And I took mercurius and belladonna alternating during the acute. And it was like mind-blowing. In like 24 hours, I was healed, while like usually I have to be on 1 week of antibiotics. So that's what I remember, like the big first healing, and so like really the power, the magic of homeopathy. And yeah, I kept going with the constitutional treatment, which I believe like had some big shift with some constitutional remedy, which I believe it's what led me to then decide to train as a homeopath.
With the best school in the world, I might add, CHE, Centre for
Yeah.
Homeopathy Education. Yeah. So tell us about Similia, and also what was the inspiration behind it? And feel free to share your screen at any stage. For anyone watching on Rumble or YouTube, we'll have some visuals there for you. For anyone listening on audio only, Marco and I have decided we're going to be explaining things to you as much as possible so that you're not missing out. So what was the inspiration behind it all?
Yeah, so I think it was probably towards the end of my first year at CHE in 2019, where I discovered the existence of homeopathy softwares. And I've always been interested in technology, apps. And actually, before homeopathy, I also worked for some years as a software developer. So yeah, as soon as I discovered the existence of those softwares, I started to try pretty much all of them, I believe. The impression that I had, it was most of the existing softwares, they were a bit kind of old. So like more similar to, softwares from 20 years ago compared to, the modern applications we are used to nowadays. And actually, I mean, even if I consider myself quite good with technology, I was really struggling in the beginning to learn, understand how to use them. And so I thought, actually, I wonder, like other people which are not very techy, like how they must be finding this. And that's when the first idea of like probably homeopathy needs a modern software for the, the new generation, also for the old one, but I guess in particular for the new generation of homeopaths. So yeah, that was when the first idea came around, but I didn't start anything yet at that time. And yeah, it was 1.5 years ago during the summer of 2024, when I had a bit of free time during the summer. And so I decided, like a fun project, like let's try to make a modern repertory. And so yeah, I started with a very basic idea of doing like Kent repertory and Kent Materia Medica in a software. So yeah, and actually I launched it probably within a few weeks, and it was really, really basic. I'm not sure, probably there was not even like the case management back then. It was just like quick repertorization and Kent Materia Medica. And yeah, I released it for free with other students and teachers. And actually, I started getting feedbacks. People who were liking it, even if it was, very simple. They saw, I guess, potential, and the fact that I tried to make it really like easy to use from the start, even if it was like not very comprehensive in features. And yeah, so I kept working on it and improving it, adding more classical repertories and Materia Medicas and more features. And yeah, during over the months, I think it started spreading a bit and the user base was growing with the free version. And so around probably spring of last year, I thought, well, seems like it's going well. Let's try to make it like a professional software. And yeah, for that, I think what was very important is to have modern resources, modern repertories, and modern Materia Medicas. So I managed to make a contract license agreement with some of the modern books. And yeah, the first one, it was with the Robin Murphy works, the Meta Repertory, 4th edition, and Nature Materia Medica, 4th edition. And yeah, in
Which,
August
by the way, I'm very jealous because my Radar Opus only has 3rd edition Meta Rep. So when you showed our students yesterday and this 4th edition, I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, I believe we are the only software at the moment to include the 4th edition. I think all the other ones should be on still the 3rd.
Yeah. Are you going to give us a spin?
Yeah, sure. So
show us around.
Sure. I'm screen sharing. This is the public homepage. I'm on similia.io. And the software, it's web-based, so it can be used on any device with a web browser, laptop, tablet, mobile phone, and it's optimized for any screen device. So now I've logged in and I'm already in the software. This is the homepage, the dashboard of the software, where we can either quick access the recent case we worked on or some of the main featured modules of the software. So yeah, I will go on the repertory, the first, probably one of the most important sections. So the repertory section can be used in two ways. We got the Repertory Explorer, which is more similar to using a book or some of the older softwares where you start by selecting a section. And in that section, you will see all the rubrics in that section, and you can navigate. You can see the remedies in the rubrics. You can go on sub-rubrics. You can type to quickly filter for the sub-rubrics. And then the other way of using the repertory is the search feature, which I believe is the most interesting, and especially with our software where we have what we call semantic search, which uses AI to help users find rubrics based on the meaning of what they search for. So they don't need to know the exact words of the repertory, how a specific rubric is worded. And of course, especially for students, this is really helpful because one of the most challenging things in homeopathy that I hear from a lot of students, it's like learning the repertory, the old language, or sometimes even like more modern, but like technical medical language. It's
not even the students, it's practitioners as well. Like sometimes you're like, oh, what is the word for that thing again? Like I can't remember. And then you can just type it in the semantic search and it's going to come up through the AI with words that are most closely related.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I got feedback from very experienced homeopaths with decades of experience that even though they know the repertory really well, when they tried the semantic search, they were surprised because, they were able to find rubrics which maybe they didn't know or didn't remember. Because I think when you know like the repertory really well, you are also like probably fixed on certain type of rubrics which you know really well and you always use. And this is a way to find probably new things.
100%. You've got your like basic rubrics that you go to every time and you become comfortable after a while, right? So this is kind of like a way to expand your horizons.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll make a quick example here. I've typed in the search box drunk after a little beer, which is a fun example I found on Facebook some time ago.
So this is just, like a client will say to you like, oh, you know what? I only drink a tiny little bit of beer and then I'm drunk. And so then you're like, how would you repertorize that?
Exactly.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So of course, if you are experienced with your repertory, you probably know that the rubric is word intoxicated easily. But if you don't know this rubric or you are new to homeopathy, to repertorization, it would be difficult maybe to find it. And with the semantic search, as you can see, the first result that we get is beer aggravates intoxicated easily. And maybe we can do another quick example. Doesn't believe in himself.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one, especially, a client will say, like, I just don't believe that I can do it. And so you're like, oh, what's the words that you would use for that? So this is a really, do you know what? And I know a lot of these things, but okay, I can blame it on perimenopause. Sometimes my brain just goes out the window. And even though I know this stuff, I'm like, oh, what is the word? What's the word? And so the semantic search really kind of like does all of that. You should really sell it to perimenopausal women as well as new students. Because we know this stuff, but sometimes you're just like, oh, what's that word again?
yeah, yeah,
So this is
absolutely.
great. Like you've just entered there in the search box, doesn't believe in himself. And then you've got mind emotions, confidence, lacking no self-esteem. And there's actually a whole variety of other ones as well that's come up that fits this particular semantic search. So I love that. You can just put that in there, see what rubrics it throws out. And like you said, for those of us who've been using this for a while that get comfortable in using certain rubrics, it's going to throw different stuff in there that you think, oh, I never thought that that might fit it as well. And maybe just expand your search that way.
Yeah, so it's probably one of the most loved feature by our users. It's really helpful. Like it's really a new way, a new paradigm in a way. Like I'm like just qualified last year from CHE, so I'm really fresh. I was studying just till last year and finding
It's
rubrics, repertorizing it. Even like we had maybe lecture on how to repertorize the structure of the repertory. I think like the semantic search, it really brings a new paradigm. You don't maybe need to spend that much time on studying the structure or it's really speed ups the work, the learning. Because I think it's much more about now and in the future to decide which are the good rubrics. Like you don't need to spend so much time in searching.
Well, we're going to get you back on the podcast soon because we're going to do just a little spoiler alert for our listeners. We're going to have like a little fisticuffs on the podcast, a friendly fisticuffs with Marco, who uses obviously the software, and then Hilary Dorian, who only uses books, and then me and Marcus Fernandez. So I'm really looking forward to that talk. It's probably not going to be for a few months we're recording it in April, but it won't be a few months before it gets released. So this is just like a little teaser. It's going to be entitled, Is the Book Repertory Defunct? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it will be
It's going to be
interesting one.
fun. I'm looking forward to that chat. Cool. Show us
Yeah.
some more I mean, I can't wait for you to get to the timeline thing because and like throwing the like case notes in there. Like,
Sure. So I'll probably move now to the cases section. Yeah, one thing I also want to mention is that the repertory section, it's meant to browse the repertory, so to find rubrics, see what remedy they're in. If we want to make a repertorization, we either go on the cases section and create a new case, or in the home page, we have the quick repertorization button, which just with one click will basically create a quick case for us, and we can immediately start repertorizing. So now I am on the analysis page, and yeah, on the right side, we have the repertory, which is exactly the same that it's in the repertory section. And the only difference is that each rubric now has a green plus button to add rubrics to the repertorization. And so we add the rubrics and we see them appearing in the left side with the usual repertory grid, repertorization grid with the remedy ordered in this case by some of degrees.
I have this thing where I get really excited and then I interrupt people. Only get really excited for things that I'm really passionate about. But I was so happy that you were saying that, all of that is customizable, like the colors of it. So if you don't like those colors, you can customize it. Also really like that trash button that's there. So you don't have to like right click on it, scroll down to delete rubric. You just click on the trash button and it's gone. And
Yeah.
the autosave, sorry, Marco, the autosave when you said that yesterday is amazing because I have lost so many of my repertorizations because it doesn't autosave. So that is revolutionary for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely lost
Yeah.
repertorization on other software as
Yeah.
well, which is probably one of the reasons why, like in Similia, you don't have to repertorize, you have to create a case, which can also be a quick repertorization. And the cool thing is that even if it's a quick repertorization, it stays saved there. So there is no possibility ever to lose any repertorization or case we worked on. So yeah, this is kind of a preview of the repertorization. Then we can also click on the green plus button to see like the whole grid, and we also have tools to work on our repertorization. We have different ways of ordering the remedies. We got the standard sum of degrees or number of rubrics. Then we have a bit more advanced feature like order by small remedies or small rubrics. Also, we can filter the results in the grid by kingdom or family. So this for homeopaths that they are into Skolten theory with the elements, kingdoms, can be quite useful to, like, okay, this is a mineral case, only want to see minerals, or this is a snake case, and so on. Of course, we can merge rubrics, and we also have an elimination filter, which basically exclude the remedies from the repertorization grid if they are not present in the rubric that we selected for the elimination filter.
That's awesome. And it's really easy to combine them as well. So you can combine the rubrics in there, but you can very easily uncombine them. What's the word?
Yeah, we call
unlink
it
them.
Yeah, so we call it
Unmerge
merge
them.
rubrics, and so then we have the unmerge.
Yeah, it's just like a click of a button. It's
really
so
easily,
easy. Yeah.
We got different clipboards. There are 4 default, but actually there is a plus button. You can add up to 10 in a single analysis. And also we have tools to manage those different clipboards. So you can import, which basically means copy clipboard into another. And then you can drag and drop a rubric into another clipboard, or you can duplicate a rubric into another clipboard. And you can also copy a clipboard from one analysis to another. So when maybe you have a follow-up and you want to start from the repertorization from the previous appointment, that can be quite helpful. Maybe we can move into some of the more like AI features.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the first feature that I want to show, it's what we call the notes to rubrics. And what this feature does is that using AI, it suggests rubrics based on case notes. So now I open the notes section inside an analysis, and here I've put some acute case example notes. And I will click the AI analysis button, and we can see.
So while that's analyzing, after you chat with our students yesterday, because this blew everyone's mind, just for our listeners, what Marco's doing, he's literally like dumping the case notes in there, and then AI is analyzing it and suggesting all the rubrics that might fit the case. So obviously, once you left, the second thing after us, the first thing was, oh my God, this is amazing. The second thing they all said was like, are we going to have a job? Because AI is literally doing all our work. And what we were saying is that this actually just allows you to be completely present with your client. And I'm going to do a spoiler alert here, but Marco, there's also a recording feature in there. So you can literally press the record button in this. Similia takes your case notes and then does it into rubrics for you, which you're obviously going to go over the case and like do all that. But do you know what? Like, this is AI at its best, where it's doing the stuff that computers can do, but the human thing, the human interaction, sitting there actually holding space for your client, only we as humans can do that. And I do that at the moment because I type 100 words a minute. I probably talk like 1,000 words a minute, but so I'm always typing while I'm talking to my client. But this is going to mean that I can put my laptop aside, it's recording it, and it's actually analyzing the case as you're going. But I can just sit with them and feel into the energy, because the AI it can't see the client, it can't feel their energy, it can't sit there in the moment with them. And I think this is just going to allow our humanness to come out more and have a deeper healing experience. I mean, I've certainly had this where I had a client shortly after I graduated many years ago, said to me, I took the whole day to analyze her case, went to her house the next day, took her the remedy. I remember it was Russ Tox, Indian lady. I said, here's your remedy. She goes, I don't need it. I feel 80% better after talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the question you asked, it's very interesting and probably could be a whole episode on its own. But I think you said it well. I think those are tools to improve our practice. And I don't think that we will ever be replaced by AI. I mean, I believe that there will be apps which even like AI homeopath, like an avatar that you speak with him, it's fine. But still, I'm sure there will be demand for real human homeopaths, because it's a whole different thing where the machine will never be able to match the connection, the relation that we have as humans.
And for anyone watching the video now, you will see the AI has just pulled out all the rubrics. So on the right-hand side there, you can see the case notes, and next to it, you can see suggested rubrics, and it has just pulled out a whole pile of rubrics, which you obviously will then read through, make sure you're happy with it, and then you can just press the plus button to add it to your repertorization. I mean, in this day and age, it really feels like that is how repertorization software should be like, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not a final repertorization. It's not making a repertorization for us, which maybe in the future, I think it might be more refined. So we might get to the point where it's almost an automated repertorization, but still always, obviously, there will be manual human refining. What it's doing at the moment is that it's suggesting 2 to 3 rubrics for each symptoms that it picks up from the notes. And so then we can decide which one we believe are more accurate or relevant to the case. And we add them and we discard the others. So it's really a way to speed up the process, because instead of like usually you would do, you take your case and then manually you go and search for each individual rubric individually. In this way, you put the case notes and you just then, like, it's basically your rubric. The rubrics are searched for you, and then it's just about deciding which one are the most accurate.
And there's lots of options there. So you would go through there and then you would be the one that decides which of these rubrics actually fit the case best.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll move now to the analyze photo.
This is probably, if I had to choose what my favorite feature would be, if it's timeline or the analyzed photo, I couldn't tell you. But for anyone, if you've got video next to you, like near you, please just go watch in this moment, because this is going to like majorly blow your mind.
Yeah, so it's a similar concept to the one we just saw with the notes, but instead of suggesting rubrics from notes, we can upload a picture of a physical symptom, and we will get a rubric suggestion based on the picture. So, maybe like usually obviously it's like skin stuff or tongue, hair, lips. But yeah, I think it can be quite helpful sometimes. We don't know what's the name of a specific condition or something we see, and it's a way to get help again.
Are you okay to do that one for us? Will you upload the photo and it shows us the rubrics?
Yeah, I did it actually.
I
don't know if you can you see the...
Oh, gotcha. So the photo just disappeared and then the rubrics just came up. Sorry, gotcha. So what Marco did is he uploaded a photo of a rash on somebody's arm, and then the AI just kind of like thought about it a little bit, and then all these rubrics came up to suggest rubrics that matches the photo.
Exactly, yeah. So we get rubrics such as arms eczema for arms, arms eczema, elbows eruptions. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is so cool. So any sort of like, I mean, I'm guessing even discharges, like you can maybe put like a snot photo in there or a poo photo maybe.
Yeah,
I've had clients show me like their baby's pooey diapers. So you can maybe upload like a photo of a pooey diaper and it might.
Yeah, it's probably can help with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you some pooey diaper photos to test it out on.
Yeah. Okay. I think, then maybe we can talk a bit. You touched on it, the live
timeline.
audio.
Audio, the live. Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is one of our latest releases. So it's a beta release at the moment, and it's like a work in progress. It's being improved and it will be improved. And the concept is that you can activate your microphone during a consultation with a patient, either in person or online. And what the software will do is that it will start doing a repertorization in real time. So based on what it picks up from the consultation, the conversation between the homeopath and the patient, it will select rubrics. And,
I mean, that's nuts. So it's like transcribing it, right? And then repertorizing it real time?
Yes.
Wow.
So when you stop the recording, it will also save the full transcript of the whole conversation, differentiated by speaker. So the homeopath and the patient, actually even multi-speaker in case sometimes you have a family member. So it saves the full transcript and also generates a summary in homeopathic terms. So things such like timeline, presenting complaint, strange, rare and peculiar, modalities, family history, and so on. So it is a work in progress. At the moment, the live repertorization usually picks between 35 and 40 rubrics in a 1-hour consultation, which is not ideal. Like it's too many, obviously, but it's a starting point. And it will definitely be improved. And we have some ideas also on like the live bit. So maybe show some more information besides rubrics, and maybe suggestion for question to differentiate the remedies that are more prominent. But actually the transcript and the summary, they already work quite well. And like I took some cases recently and I didn't take any notes. I was just focused on my patient. I was being there for them, didn't have to be distracted writing or typing somewhere. And I didn't need to take notes because I knew that at the end of the consultation, I would have the full transcript anyway, so I could go back at it, and also the summary. And I think those tools really can help us to be better as what we are better as humans, while delegating tasks that are kind of repetitive or where a machine can be better than us. So I think it's in the end, it's in the benefit of our patient because we have more time for them. We are able to come up with a better quality prescription because with the same time or less time, there is much more analysis that can be done by those tools.
Your observation skills are going to get so much better because I know for me, even though I touch type 100 words a minute, there's things that you miss when you're actually focusing your attention on typing. Whereas if you're just actually sitting and observing the client, little twitches or little, things and changes in tone of voice or whatever, like this is going to be really amazing. And people need that deep human connection more than anything else because we are so disconnected. And imagine you can put your laptop to the side and just listen to that person and be with them. Holy moly.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a really great point. It's something I've struggled myself a lot, like trying to, write notes, type, and at the same time, look at the patient, be there for them. This is like really completely changed the game. Like now, my consultation, I'm just there for my patient, and I know that everything it's been worked on, saved for me, so that then when I'm done with the patient, I can look at that. And I was focusing, I was there for my patient, which is very helpful.
Love it. I really hope you're doing the timeline next because I have had over 6,000 consultations in my years of practice, and I cannot wait to upload all of them in there and get the timeline function to just do a timeline on all of them to just see if there's something that I missed, in some of the cases. I love that it automatically does the timeline. Please tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. So now I was on the analysis page and I clicked go back to go on the main case page. And here we have on the top right, the timeline button. And this, of course, is a new case, it's empty. So the option we have is that we can start adding manually events to the timeline where we pick the year and the month, and we put a title on the timeline event and a description. But actually the most interesting way of using the timeline feature is the generate with AI feature. And what it does is that based on your case notes, it generates a timeline with all the information that we have from the case notes. And actually one cool thing is that when you do the live audio mode, then you get saved in your notes, the full transcript and the summary. So what you could do is that after you do that, you just go in the timeline and generate with AI. And then, automatically you have the timeline just from talking with your patient. Like you haven't typed anything.
I have a client who I have over 50 pages of notes for her. It's all in Word doc, and I cannot wait to put that all in there for it to do a timeline and just to kind of see that. And then also email that to her and go, look, is this accurate? Is there something that missed? Does looking at this timeline maybe make you think of what could have been the cause of this or that? Because, sometimes clients say, oh, I'm not sure, what triggered that thing because it was so long ago. But when you show them that timeline in a space like that, they go, oh, actually, now that you say that, I actually forgot that I did this and this and this, and then it might help them trigger their memory as well.
Yeah. And what you can do after you create the first timeline from the first appointment, after that, let's say you have another appointment, you will have a button with update with AI. So it will pick up the notes only from the newer appointments and keep updating it as we get more information from our patients.
One of our students asked yesterday after you left if you can add things in manually, but I know that you can. So you can actually generate with AI, and then if there's something manually that you wanted to add, and say they reply to you via email and go, I actually forgot to tell you that this and this happened at this date, you can go click and add manually and just add it in there.
Yes, yes. Even if you generated initially with AI, you can always keep adding something manually.
Amazing. Oh, and we haven't even talked about the Materia Medica.
Yeah. So yeah, switch now to the Materia Medica section. And yeah, for who's watching on the bottom, we have the list of all the remedies in the software, and we can type something to filter by the name. And then if we click on the remedy, we go in the Materia Medica for that remedy. And we got different authors available. And in the remedy page, then you can click on the author name to quickly switch between the Materia Medica of this remedy. So now I have Belladonna opened, and I'm switching between Richard Pitt, Thematic Materia Medica, Murphy, Nature Materia Medica. Then we have all the classic authors, Boricchi, Clark, Herring, Kant, and so on. And we also have a remedy relations section, which some people, I guess, yes, maybe a bit controversial. Some homeopaths, they are quite, like, they like it.
About it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Others, they discard it and don't
Yeah.
really rely on it, but can be interesting. So what we did, this is something we created ourselves. We took the information from different authors like Clark, Boricchi, Nair, Fatak, and Pitt, and we put it together so that in the relation section, the different, like complementary, follows well, followed by, and each remedy for each section. And when you click on it, you know the sources. So now I clicked on Camomilla in the follows well, and the sources is Clark. So we know that,
I love that.
where it's coming from. And in some cases, there is also, like this one, a note, like in this case from Boricchi, and there is a note on the specific relations.
That's amazing. Something we forgot when we were in Murphy Rep. I mean, there's lots of things we haven't talked about because we only have a certain amount of time. Because I have to go pick up my son from athletics. So was that I really liked how in your Murphy Meta Rep that when you click on the rubric, it actually tells you what the page number is of that rubric in your physical book. So that's actually really handy as well. You've got lots of, like, you really thought this through, and I'm sure you've had loads of people giving you loads of advice. And because this is an online rep, it's so great because you can update it so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this one, like many others, it was a suggestion from one of our users. They're using the Meta Rep in college, and I think, like, for case assignments, they might have to mention the page. And so, they asked this feature, and we quickly delivered. And actually, we have a whole feedback platform. So when you are in the software and you click on your avatar in the top right, you have a feedback button, which will lead you to our feedback platform, where you can suggest new features, give a feedback, report a bug. Yeah, we definitely really love to listen to our feedback users to improve our software.
It's pretty bloody amazing as it is. It's incredible. Oh, you can see, that occurrences thing was really cool as well, because it actually, if you clicked on that, like you can see now, it shows you how many times that remedy shows up in the repertory, and also tells you the page number.
Yeah,
So it also kind of gives you an idea if something is like a polycrest or like a big remedy versus a small remedy.
Yes, can be quite interesting. And actually, for different repertory, so when you click on a remedy inside the rubric, you always get like a pop-up with some information. And depending on the repertory, you get different information. For example, with complete repertory, when you click on a remedy, you get the source. In this case, I clicked on vertigo, Addison's disease and there is the remedy calc. And here we are shown the sources, and it's Nair, Repertory of Herring's Guiding Symptoms. So we know
From
that
1896.
Calc,
Crazy.
Calc is in this rubric because it's like it was present in the Herring Guiding Symptoms from Nair. And then we have also like it's one provers data and the occurrences as well. And also you can click read Materia Medica, and it will move you quickly to the Materia Medica, of that remedy.
Wow. Can you quickly show the reverse repertorization feature as well? Because that's something I use quite often. I love doing reverse repping, especially if it's a small remedy or a remedy I don't really know. I'll type in the remedy and then get all the rubrics that's associated with that remedy. So instead of repertorizing, finding a remedy, reverse repertorization is when you do a search on the remedy and then all the rubrics for that remedy come up. And so you can very quickly get a kind of idea of what this remedy is, the feel for this remedy. You'll see which sections it features in a lot, and also for which rubrics is it highly indicated. And I love using that feature.
Yeah. So yeah, in the repertory section on the right of the main like search rubrics input, where you search for a rubric, you have the search remedies input, where you can start typing, get a list of remedies based on what you typed, and you can select a remedy. And you can do a search without any input. And what this does is that it will return all the rubrics in the repertory that include that remedy. So yeah,
And
one thing
Go.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm more excited about your software than you. I was just going to say one thing I love about it is you can then, like with the degrees, which is maybe what you were going to say, you can even like untick them. So you only want to see the rubrics where lachesis shows up in a 4th degree or, degree 3 or whatever. So you can see, okay, which rubrics is this remedy very strongly featured in? Just when you were typing lac before, malachite came up in your search box, and that made me think, I wonder if that's something that malachite. I wonder if that is from the Griffith repertory, or because you've got Colin Griffith's Materia Medica in there as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it should still be from Murphy. Actually, now I'm curious.
Okay.
We'll quickly
because
check.
you're searching in MetaRep. Gotcha.
Exactly. But yeah, we have I think, usually the remedies are from Griffith. They have a different, it is specified with MP, meditative proving. So actually it is on Murphy as well, malachite.
Okay. Amazing. So I also just want to say from using Radar, I became familiar with synthesis, and I've never used complete repertory, which is what you have as well. So tell us a little bit about the difference between the two, because like I said, I've never used complete, so I don't know anything about it.
Yes, sure. So complete repertory from Roger Van Zort is one of, I think together with synthesis, they are the two big modern repertories, and because they are the repertories that they are constantly updated, like compared to, and they are like big in a way. Like we have other repertories that get updated, like Suggesta from Massimo Mangialavori and the Sane repertory from Andre Sane. I guess the difference, for example, with Suggesta and Sane, they tend to be a bit smaller and with more emphasis on clinical experience compared to synthesis and complete repertory, where there is also clinical experience in there, but there's a lot of work made by the authors to make additions from a lot of many different sources. Yeah, I guess they're quite similar, synthesis and complete. I think complete might be a bit more updated. I think the last synthesis update was a few years ago, while complete, we got a 2026 edition. And they are two very comprehensive repertory. Maybe there's a few more rubrics complete, but yeah, they're really like similar and comparable.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. I'm excited to explore it. Okay, Marco, I think you have just blown everyone's minds. Mine's been blown for a little while now, but blown it all over again with this incredible software. And we've just run out of time because I literally have to go pick up my son. So anybody who wants to know anything about Similia, if you're interested in a package, go to similia.io. Also, because when you do that, I think it will show up in your country. So it'll show up in your local currency and all that sort of stuff. Marco has also very kindly given me an affiliate link, which I will put in the show notes, and I'll also put it in the intro of this episode, because if you do get the package and you do use my affiliate code, any money will go towards helping me to pay for the running costs of the podcast and for my lovely editor, my social media lady who does all our reels and everything else. So any affiliate money will go towards the podcast and helping me to continue to create more podcast episodes. So I just want to check, Marco, is there any final message that you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, hopefully try Similia and let us know what you think. We have 24-hour support if you need any help. We've got tutorial sections, and please give us feedback if you feel something is missing or could be better. Really want to try to make the best software for making the life of students and practitioners easier, which in the end will give the best results to patients of homeopathy worldwide.
Absolutely. And also, if you are a homeopathic school anywhere in the world and you want Marco to come and do a demo for your students like he's done for us, get in touch with him. It's just info@similia.io, SIMILIA.io. And if you're a student and you want your school to introduce Similia, tell your lecturers and tell your principal to get in touch with Marco, also because he has a student discount. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but if you as a school exclusively use Similia, which is what we will be doing at CHE Australia, then he has got some discounts that he can offer as well if your school exclusively promotes Similia to your students, which I think is incredibly generous. So if you're a student, tell your principal. If you're a principal, get in touch with Marco. Did I miss anything?
Thank you, Jeannie. No, that's amazing. Yeah.
Look, when there's people in the homeopathic community trailblazing and doing awesome stuff, it gets me super excited about our industry and about, just innovation. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I'm so excited for our students to start using it. Our first lot of fast trackers that start in September, they just had their tutorial with you. The others that started a bit later, I said to them they have to wait a little bit because we are going to do the book Repertory first and then do your software. So yeah, I'm really excited about this for our students. I'm excited about this for myself. No more losing my repertorizations because there's no autosave. So thank you. Grazie mille and arrivederci. Is that the right
one? Thank you so much, Jeannie, for having me. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great.
I was going to say buonanotte, but it's morning for you. So is that...
Yes, buongiorno.
Yeah, let's go with that one. Ciao.
Thank you, Jeannie. Ciao, ciao.